thinking, where's the asteroid? It was at least 45 minutes into the movie before we even knew like it was a threat. And then it was the thing about Armageddon that was cool is it all happened right here, right now. It was like 18 days. All right.
Yeah. There was no sense of urgency in Deep
17
Impact.
years it's going to hit. And like, what?
In
or whatever.
Deep Impact, 2 years they knew about this asteroid. 2 years. And then at the point they found out that there was an asteroid about to kill them, they had another year to prepare for it.
Yeah. And then they had another 6 months after that to try to get to the asteroid. You know, there just was no sense of urgency.
Nuts.
And one big difference was when in Armageddon, they actually make a point to say, hey, we can't let the public know about this. It would be mass hysteria, this and this and this. In Deep Impact, they're like, hey, world, we've got, very short amount of time to live. And everyone's just like, oh my, okay.
And he even makes a point, the president, to say, pay your bills, go back to work.
Everybody,
cool.
Just pretend like nothing's happening.
Just everything.
Are you kidding me?
But by the way,
nothing's
the world
going on
may
over
end.
here. Everything's
Costco
fine.
would be a bloodbath. Sam's would be a disaster, like in a biblical proportions, in a matter of seconds from finding that out.
The world would have ended right after that announcement.
And there would be no toilet paper anywhere.
That's right. Well, and also they say that they've had this plan to move 1 million people underground for 2 years while the smoke clears. And Armageddon, they point out that it would actually take about 1,000 years for the smoke to clear.
But Deep Impact, only about 2.
Yeah.
There's an air filter, I guess, in our world.
Bigger
Deep
fans.
Impact that's going to clear everything out.
They had a lot of ensure.
They did have a lot of ensure.
They made sure that product placement was all over the place.
I just had to get those off my chest.
But there were a lot of similarities between these two movies, which running concurrently, it was a little bit like we were talking about Tombstone and Wyatt Earp. When you have two movies running concurrently, it is hard for you to believe that nobody leaked any kind of information because there were so many things that were very specifically similar. Both were about asteroids or comets heading for the Earth and threatening basically the extinction of the human race. And both had a team of astronauts that needed to launch and land on an asteroid and specifically drill 800 feet down. Both drilling teams got stuck at 75 feet and couldn't complete the drill, and then ended up having to result in human sacrifice to save the rest of humanity. Both had a huge, extensive cast. Both had a love story between a couple and a love story between a father and daughter.
Wait, who was the love story between a couple in Deep Impact? Was it Elijah Wood and what's her name?
Yeah, it was Elijah Wood and Lily Sobieski. And I was going to say, Elijah Wood had first billing on IMDb for starring in this movie. And was this movie about him?
I'm not sure that is how it translates from the film onto IMDb, because like I was an extra on a short film once and I got first billing on this short film. I didn't have any lines.
Because you were the best part of it.
It could be.
So why weren't you an extra in this movie? You could have elevated it.
Oh man, totally. But that's just, there were so many of these threads in it that didn't really seem super cohesive. Like, the whole thing with Lily Sobieski and Elijah Wood is brought up towards the beginning. And then we go off without them for an hour or so. And then he comes back and it's just hard to care about.
I had no idea who this movie was about, like whose POV or the story. And I think they wanted to do like a Love Actually or New Year's Eve kind of thing where they were telling all these different little pockets of stories and somehow they all tied together. I think that's what they were trying to go for.